Now,
For sure.
what's the word? What's the word, y'all? I am Words Illah, aka Drew Skills, aka Ill Doing It Too, and this is the Words Illah Podcast. Of
Chill.
course, you know who's here.
Yeah, man. The Baker. DBL. Whatever. Ill
Yeah.
doing it 3, man. We here.
Yeah,
What's up?
we out here. I want to get it kicking off this shit we just was talking about right before we even started, man. That was an extra. That we
Yeah.
was trying to add some extra. Yo, Clash of the World. Yo, you never heard of a clash like this before in your life, man. Listen, Power Rangers: A Nightmare on Elm Street. Yo.
Yeah.
This guy, what is his name again?
Oh, man.
Look it up
what
real
is
quick
the
on your
dude's
phone.
name?
What was his name, man? Because this
It
is
was
yo.
Frank something,
Imagine
man.
that, yo. I mean, in a way, I guess it makes sense. It's like they're all teenagers, anyways. You know what I'm saying? As far as like how the storyline
Yeah,
goes. So
exactly.
it's like Freddy Krueger and then, yeah, that's a pretty
That's
mean
what the
clash
guy
up.
was saying, man. And I read the little backstory about it, and he was like, basically, he wanted to take two of the like his nostalgic childhood like heroes, being in Power Rangers when they at their peak. You know what I'm saying, on Fox, and when they were at their peak. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, we grew up on that shit, and on top of that, horror films. He was a big horror film fan, and you know, Nightmare on Elm Street was one of his favorites. Let me find the guy's name, man, and Stephen Harbour. He wrote it. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And
Shouts out Stephen Harbour.
Stephen Harbour and Francisco Maurice, excuse me, who did the pencil and ink. You know what I mean? It's a comic book. You can go online right now and find it.
That's what's up. That's tight.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
tight.
gonna read it, yo. It's like 3 issues out right now.
Right.
Where the Power Rangers versus fucking
Freddy
Freddy Krueger.
Yo,
You know what I'm
that
saying?
is tight.
It sounds super
I ain't
dope,
even
bro.
mad at it though.
And like the artwork is super dope. Like I've seen a couple of different pics.
Oh, I
Like,
wish y'all could see this, yo.
Yeah.
This is tight, man. Y'all gotta
Like,
look it up, man. What's the guy's
it
name?
looks
Stephen
nuts.
Harbour, man.
Stephen Harbour, Francisco
Power Rangers: A Nightmare on Elm Street. Y'all gotta look that up, man. That's tight, man.
Francisco Maurice and James Zark, coloring by James Zark.
Okay.
So they did their thing, man.
Yeah, that's tight, man.
You know.
That's just a little. I mean, I don't
can't
know.
wait.
I had before we could even get to the introduction. Like he was just showing me this, and I was like, "Yo!" I mean, immediately I was like, "That's a like." I was like, "They're teenagers." Yeah, I mean, it goes along
Yeah.
with but they're okay. Yo, this could be tight. This could
Oh
be
yeah,
kind of tight.
that's what he said. Because it was the one film from Freddy Krueger, and it had the Dream Warriors in it. And he said that was
okay.
that was an aspect of the Nightmare on Elm Street that they never really got into.
Right.
He said that he liked that aspect of things, so
Okay.
he put there's a lot of that with the Power Rangers. You know what I'm saying, in the story. So if you read it, yeah, I think you'll see a lot of that. You know what I mean? Like,
That's what's up.
I
Man.
can't wait, yo. I'm excited to read the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to look at it myself, man. Yo, he should have made. They need a cartoon for that, yo. Somebody at Adult Swim, yo, need to get on top
Somebody
of that.
pick that up.
Quick, man, because
Power Rangers versus Freddy.
That's tight, right there. B Diz the Rockstar. I know you be on that shit. You be
Word up!
on
Shout
that
out
shit.
Diz.
But anyways, we didn't even do the introduction. Let's get to the introduction. Before I grabbed the paper, I had some ideas. But what you been up to, man? Since the last pod, man.
Shit, I don't know, man. I just been floating around. You know what I mean? It's been a weird time, man.
Yeah, that it has.
I didn't have to vote. I voted early, so I avoided that.
Right.
I just sat back and I just chilled, man. You know, did the work thing. Actually, I had a lot of time. I took a couple of days off.
That's what's up.
Enjoyed the weekend and whatnot. So, you know, just a lot of relaxing and reflecting, man. Trying to, you know, build on things. My mind's always working. I'm trying to find ways to get money. So,
Yeah.
you know,
as I would hope that we all are understood of. I mean, you know, it's definitely good to be aware, like we always say. But you know, we definitely got to be keeping our minds, you know, just understood. Yo, we gotta work. You gotta do something. You gotta your mind. You need to. I feel like that's just an ingrained thing, regardless of whatever system that we are in. Your mind needs to be willing to push itself to go do more for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And find those levels of how far you can go. You know, push yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just to see. You know what I mean? How long you can withstand certain things. Just because we gotta know. You know what I mean? You don't want to be in a position where you're being tested at a moment where you haven't been to, or you haven't even gotten close to those moments or those feelings. So it's like, it's good. You know what I'm saying? To see just where shit go. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes trying to figure it out. But
gotta get out there, man.
Yeah, man.
What's up with you, man? How you been, man? What's been going on with you?
Same shit, man. You know, like you said, man, just been kind of chilling, man. After we put out the video, I just been for You Gotta Serve. I really just been chilling and I mean, okay, well, I did get these packages. I did decide. I did like a. I don't know if anybody's seen on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? I when I premiered the video, after the video was over, I basically was like, I want to give some gift packages, so to speak, away to some people that I
Yeah,
feel like have
I
been.
saw that you had a special like surprise message at the end, but I didn't see that. I missed that. I
Well,
must
yeah,
have.
it's all good. It was really because I mean, you already have a shirt, and you know how we do.
Yeah,
We
yeah, yeah.
always doing shit together anyway.
Word.
So it was more like people that are literally just like standard
Yeah,
buyers
yeah.
or what. People who aren't really want to end with what I'm doing. They're
Yeah, yeah.
not. You produce
You're just
stuff with me.
tuning in and
Like
shit.
we're in this as a collective, as a business
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
So these are just people that I know that are cool or another way they don't live here or whatever.
Right
Like
on.
to like okay, I got some stuff I want to give to some people. So I'm be sending that out this weekend. So if I sent you a message, if you sent me your
Hey.
mailing address, then I will be doing my best to get that sent out this weekend. Um, yeah,
Did you get any? Did you get anybody to hit you back?
yeah, quite a few actually.
That's
Everything you
tight.
see over there on the floor, that's already in a bag. That's all the people I've already got addresses
No
from. So
shit.
it's like 10 people that what I'm saying.
That's dope, yo.
Well, yeah, total 10 people because 2 people I think I don't have to send it to, and then
Right
yeah,
on.
but yeah, so that's a cool little thing I was trying to do. I've been trying to do something like that. I had this merch for a while, so
Yeah,
some people you bought a shirt. I think Curtis, Diz, few people did, but
yeah.
I held off on so much because I was like, I want to find something that's gonna be at this point. To me, it was like it was an investment that I may not get anything monetarily out of, but I need to
Right.
use it as some piece that's just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
again like yo, this
So
is what
this
this is.
is gratifying in a sense, you know?
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
Word up.
that's what I feel like it should be because it's like there are people, whether they have supported you big,
Yeah.
small, in between, whatever, have liked, shared, they have done something, and
Hmm.
I've recognized it. So I want to be like cool because that's how you get the next 10 people and the next
Yeah.
10 people and the next like I don't see you getting 1,000 people at once. Sometimes those viral moments are
Right.
very few and far between. Like,
Right.
not like it doesn't happen. You shouldn't shoot for that, or you
Hmm.
shouldn't have an aspiration for certain things. But the truth is, you do this on a 10 by 10 basis, or what? You do this like each person you can get to. Like we know it from shows.
Yeah.
We performing. It may only be 10 people there,
Right.
and most of them might be performing too. You know what I'm
Word
saying?
up.
So it's
Another
like
artist.
you got to realize that and not be afraid of it and just be like it's cool. Like I'm not when you put a cool on and you ain't got nothing yet, or when you put a cool on and you got either way, trying
Yeah.
to put a cool on is never cool. Being
Word.
cool is just being cool,
Just
whatever
being
the fuck
cool.
it
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
and going
word.
with it and not being mad or
Just be
trying to
natural.
like just doing whatever. Like, but yeah. So that's that with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's what's up, man. That's
But
dope.
also I did vote myself. You know what
Right
I
on,
mean?
right
I
on.
went to the polls. You know what I mean? And casted my ballot.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
We'll see what happens, right?
Yeah, they're counting these votes. You know what I'm saying? They're counting them up. I
Yeah.
guess other places they saying to stop, and then other places say don't. I don't know.
It's yeah, it's
These
it's comical to say the least.
man, woo,
And yo, it's crazy because there was so much
these
tension,
Trump supremacists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
so
Out
much
here.
tension built up to this for this shit, yo. And it's like after it's all said and done, it's like why? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like
That's what they always say. Well, not always say, but that's a line that's very known about these types of emotions and these types of things with white America when they act these ways and do these things. It's like, yo, you didn't think this through, did you? You about to be on the wrong side of history.
Yeah.
You know what that means, right? Like your families have to deal with the idea of what you did and how you
Mhm.
felt and what you represented. Like you get that, right?
Yeah.
Like you tarnish people who worked hard or who have probably tried. Now they have to work harder to make people believe
Mhm.
that they are whatever they say that they are.
Yeah.
It's like you're ruining so many people by just enacting the same thought frame and never. Yeah,
it's it's wild.
it's wild that people are that dedicated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's yeah. I don't know, man. How you like don't have a brain at all, like you of your own. You just
Yeah, it was more close than I imagined it to be. You know what I'm saying? Or it still is. I mean, it's still going, but
yeah.
like, but you know,
That's
Some
That's
people are stupid. I guess I don't know how else to
100%.
say it, man.
Yeah, there's
You know
nothing
what I
else that
mean?
can be said. These numbers don't lie. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we
It's
can.
over like 46, 48% of people who
Yeah, and
agreed.
those who want to try to disagree with these numbers or try to defute or refute or whatever they want to say about it, it's like, look, even if the numbers were off by a few thousand, the percent would only change by so much, and it would
Mm-hmm.
still be bad. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It wouldn't make a difference. And so it's like this idea that people are trying to like you're just denying the truth, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Where the line gets drawn for people, where they believe that it should be at is it'll never be.
Mm-hmm.
It gets moved all the time. It's never the same line. You know what I'm saying? And it's just yeah.
Yo, man, I mean, it just boils down to, like I think we said before, and I will keep saying that America is nasty. The DNA of America is fucked up. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And it'll never change.
Yeah. You don't get away with that kind of brutalness and that kind of complete disregard for another life. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you don't get away with that. You know what I'm saying? You don't get that energy doesn't die. That type of level of energy you exude, that doesn't just die off. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? That shit gets, like you said, it gets woven into every last thing that goes on from that point.
Yeah.
Everything is now predicated on all these ideals and these things that
Yeah.
you've done and the ancestors and these people who had to live with these things and are still like, this is what we are never gonna, like you said, I don't think it can go away, but we can just watch as we can slowly see that unfortunately I feel like there's gonna just be more tolerance. There's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be a lot of people who just are gonna realize that the line of law is changing, where now there are actually things that are going to be happening, punishable things
Yeah.
that you get when you make certain actions and say or do certain things, which doesn't change people.
Right.
It just makes it so that there's actions that happen if you do these
Yeah.
things. It doesn't make people not racist or not whatever
Mm-hmm.
anymore. It just
Mm-hmm.
means that now there's at least some
Yeah.
barrier or a
Some
sense of a barrier that can be
absolutely.
formed now.
Yeah. They're
But
getting there.
that's just the sick like truth. You know what I mean? You know, like you said, we living in it all the time, just trying to, again, everybody, our point is to stand your ground in your position wherever you stand on the line of what society is. Be that, because that's what this time has shown a lot of us. We've
Yeah.
got to be able to see a lot of people who, we're all afraid if we don't understand something. If you don't understand the depths of what this country is, of course you're going to be unaware and be afraid of how deep it could really be and how
Yeah.
big the problem can really be. And when you start to realize it, how overwhelming it can be to see it in that magnitude and be like, wow,
Yeah.
like pulling away from how far back we come and where we are and just noticing how all this is just another form of the same things. And it's like, yeah, it gets hard to deal with, but this is what needs to happen.
Yeah.
People got to be able to, you got to look these things in the face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
So
for
we
real.
can just, we can get the shit out so we can get it out. You know what I mean? And then we can move. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know what I mean? A doctor can't fix you if he doesn't know what the problem is.
Right.
He's got to like dissect things and figure out what's
Mm-hmm.
going on. Let me touch here, breathe this way. Let me see if when I bend this, what does that do? Like, and then be like, aha.
Yeah.
After analyzing all these parts, we're like, that's because this and that. So here, what we're gonna do is you need to this happens and then this happens and
Yeah.
but yeah.
I just hope, once all this election thing is said and done and people don't go back to sleep, don't get lax because shit's still fucked up. You know
One hundred
what I'm
percent.
saying? Shit's still fucked up. So be vigilant and, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep this momentum going. Like,
Yes. Keep the
things are changing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, very slowly.
Mhm.
But we're seeing, some sorts of progress. With that being said, yo, before we jump into something else, I just wanted to bring up the Cube, Ice Cube, man, because they
Mhm.
trying to cancel my man Cube.
Yeah, man. I'll be honest with you. I'm confused by it.
I'm really confused.
I don't really understand because I felt like at the end of the day, I think I realized that I did the same thing as far as like when Kanye met with him. Now there
Yeah,
may be some differences in them. I don't want to try to make it seem like it's the same. It's a rapper going to talk with,
right.
Trump, whatever. I just wanted to. I realized I operated off of an emotion, and I did it even. I've done it in multiple instances. You know what I'm saying? Similar to like when Pusha T went to go see Hillary
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, and I'm like feeling like I'm like oh, why would they go meet with them? Like they do this, like because I felt like I knew something, because I
Yeah.
knew something about something that they've done that was bad in their past or whatever. It's like
Right.
people are full human beings, and
Right.
so it's like I understand. Like there's just a lot of things that are different. I don't. So when he went to go see, apparently went to go see Trump or his administration about a plan, I feel like it's like I just literally went to go talk to somebody.
Right.
I didn't say that we made an agreement.
Right.
I didn't say that we exchanged money. I didn't say that I'm going to vote for him. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
say that I was going to like none of that. I didn't
None
say
of
any
that.
of that. So,
None of that.
you know, I didn't endorse him. I'm not why can I not go sit and have conversations with
Mm-hmm.
people, and what,
He
even if I don't agree with
potentially
them?
could have been the next president. I mean, probably not now, but at the
Right.
time when he spoke with him, he didn't know. He's like, yo, whoever's going to be in power, I want to have this information. You know what I mean? I think that was all. And I
Yeah.
saw that from the beginning, so I didn't understand the confusion or the misconception that he was endorsing Trump. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now like they got Uncle Cube upset. And he like, yo, what the fuck? I just cause I went and talked to the man, like, y'all want to
Yeah.
cancel me? So all right, have a nice life. That was like sub. I'm not quoting, so don't quote the text, but that was
Right.
the
But I think
Instagram post I
it
saw.
becomes overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? When you know that where your intentions lied were to be
Yeah.
genuine and sincere and trying to be helpful or whatever, you know, your intentions were. I think they were pure. They were good.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't trying to do something bad. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But I think that we live in a soundbite era and people are just quick to
Indeed.
click and get mad
And
and be angry before they probably
oh,
even read into it or understood what it
the
was.
fake outrage is getting me just like sick to my stomach.
It's
Everybody wants to
everybody.
be outraged about every
Hmm.
fucking
Yeah, I
thing.
think we're emotionally attached to so much, and that's a very big problem. You know, I had to realize that in myself. Like I'm judging somebody saying, "Oh, he went to go. He's crazy. Something wrong
Yeah.
with him. He would go. Like just a picture. You see a picture of somebody next to somebody, and it sets you off
Yeah.
and make you like, oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. Da, da, da. It's like,
Yeah.
yo, number one, you don't even know him. He never pays for anything for you or prevents you from getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
Why your opinion
Mm-hmm.
so strong about this? Why do you feel so wronged by this person in some way? Like what did they? What do you mean? You don't know him, man. Stop that.
Right.
We don't know any of these people, any of
And
them.
who's to say that he's not gonna meet with Joe Biden?
He literally said, "I tried both of them."
Yeah.
The other
They
ones,
told
the
him to wait.
Democrats said to wait. Like so,
So
it's
I'm
like
pretty sure there's a meeting waiting to be had once he
see now what
gains
I did
the
watch
White
was a
House.
bit of a conversation. This is good that we're going a couple other places on
Mm-hmm.
our own, but yeah, but I saw Lupe. He goes live a lot. He went live and he was going live for a really long time, and he ended up having some lady come in that I don't remember which state she says she works in. Maybe it's down south somewhere. I could be wrong, but basically, she's like an organizer of some sort too, and she's
Yeah.
also a PhD. You know what I'm saying? And is in the community, and maybe it wasn't St. Louis she was from. Maybe it was, but she is talking. She was talking about the situation with Cube, and he asked her how she felt about it, and she said, I felt like in some ways there was a lot of I felt like this male chauvinistic thing where I felt like maybe he just didn't come to women. He's like, I literally don't remember there
Mm.
being much of anything said about conversations he had with women that are
Mm.
empowered when he
Mm.
formed these ideas and made these things. And it's like I don't know these
Yeah, I don't
things, you know what
know.
I'm saying? But this is what I'm saying about I like to have or see or be able to get perspective from so many different people because the story is never one side or the other. It's never right and
Word.
wrong. There's like, so many angles that this story, especially about what America is and
Mm.
about just people in general. Like there's so many stories that haven't been told, like we were saying, like
Mm-hmm.
from so many people, from so many facets that a lot of us have ignored and that hasn't been properly told that we don't really know the story. We think we know the story, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the story has been omitted, a lot of things, and there's also just a lot of, again, knowing that white supremacy is in everything. It's definitely going to affect
Hell yeah.
everything. The story of what America is, or just of the world in general, has been told literally through one lens for like God knows how long.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or
And the stories are all just intertwined with so much control system, of keeping people in a certain place. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
so I mean I'm not with a lot of, you know what I'm saying, a lot of that, you know what I mean? But Moving forward, man.
Yeah,
Moving forward,
word.
man. A little bit of light, I guess we could say. We wanted to talk about. This is a funny thing. Not really funny. It actually works in other places, in other countries. Oregon, the first state in the United States to decriminalize all drugs,
All drugs.
hard drugs, heroin,
Heroin,
cocaine.
cocaine,
You know what I'm saying? Anything, basically.
methamphetamine.
Anything. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. I know that there's a country. I don't know what if it's the Netherlands or if it's like Finland or some country over there where they're Denmark maybe or something
Yeah.
like that, where it's like they have that system. There's drugs are legal. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying?
think I heard that shit too.
Most of the time they don't bother people. If you can even be out in the streets and be out freebasing, you know what I'm
But
saying?
isn't it regulated to a certain like area or district or
Right.
something
I
like
think
that?
they do have like an area that they have set that's
Yeah.
like sort of a park or some kind of
Yeah.
place in which you can do those types of things. But if they catch you in most places and you're out in the community,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
to speak, or whatever, they don't arrest you. They take you into a facility basically.
Yeah.
It's not really arrest, but it basically is kind of an
Yeah,
arrest.
I think that's the ideal that Oregon is adopting. Like
Yeah.
there's a fine if you're caught with a certain like under commercial amount of possession of these drugs.
And then if you get caught, basically they take you in, they do
Yeah,
like
no, it's an option. You can either pay the fine or
Oh.
you can admit to having a problem and seeking
and see,
treatment.
and see that's what I'm saying. So they do. How do they do that when they catch you? Who's doing the catching?
Uh,
And that's what I mean.
yeah.
Like this is
I
where
think the cops.
this is where all the stories need to start changing. Where the story of defunding the police needs. I mean, people are still for whatever reason unclear about what that really means. I think they believe that means to literally take all police away
Right.
from all places all over the country,
Right.
and just completely shut them all down. And it's like that's an idea, and the abolishment is definitely an idea.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that
I'm not
that's
against
I'm not
abolishment.
100%
That's not-
against that
yeah,
either. You know what I'm
word.
saying? But I do understand that there are people who misquote or misunderstand that defunding means they're being paid way too much to be
Yeah.
this careless. You know what I'm saying?
fucking
And to be this unresponsible. They can't be held responsible of it. So they need to be defunded, and anybody who needs to get in, we need to have a way more stringent system that trains them properly on a whole lot of things. You know what I'm saying? And we need to make that available by having the money now be allocated to other systems that work better. To get social workers, to get psychologists, to get a lot of people on board that can really
100%.
help what's the problem is, to really develop real programs that are going to really develop and make people have to be more interacting,
Yeah.
be a community. You know what I'm saying? Where these systems are actually in favor of making the community more healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's like that's like a duh moment. Like, yeah,
That is
why
what
wouldn't you do that?
defund means.
Like, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you want to have more programs or have it to where these
Yeah.
police officers or whatever you want to call them are now being trained by people who have de-escalation skills. You know what I'm saying? Who they maybe have to go side by side and do like ride alongs with them for like a long period of time, or maybe they have a
Because
partner
you know
that
why?
is. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
It's the people who are saying no to it don't deal with it the way that the people who are saying it do. You feel me? Or are connected to it.
Yeah,
do.
I feel you.
Like
Right.
they're what's the word? I don't know the right word, but they're looking at it from the outside in. Like, oh, and they don't see the issue with the police. They're more on the blue sides matter fucking vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Which is so
Like,
weird.
Yeah, no, it's insane, yo. Like, you see it every day.
Yeah.
Every other week there's a new body, you know what I'm saying? Black body, be it kid, fucking adult, male, female, special needs, fucking mental illness. Like, yo, y'all are seeing this shit. You can't not see it. Unless you're watching Fox News or some bullshit that's not, you know what I'm saying? Putting it out there. What Cube say? Back to Uncle Cube. Either they don't know, don't show, or don't care about what's going on in the rest of a fucking America. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, man. This is why it's important that we said we keep these conversations open. Everybody has to start talking more so we can get to the root of these things, and we've got to start again. Everybody got to just be honest, yo. Like we hiding behind whatever. I don't know what that is. Like there's some kind of veil that we're trying to put up, and it's all a facade for what we don't know. Really, a lot of us, we can't even explain to you why we're trying to put on a front or a stage or make things up or going along. We can't understand why we just most people can't, why they conform. Like, it's just so much easier though. It's like, yeah, but you control your this your vehicle, this thing that you got, you control that at all times. No matter if you decide to stay in your bed or get up, or whether you decide to speak or not speak, you made that decision.
Yeah.
You did it. And there's not like some greater force that stopped you. There's not some, like, no, you did that. And that's what people are missing. Yo, you did that. Whatever that it is, you did it. Nobody came in and made you do that.
Right.
And until you can own those things and start being honest and do what you need to do to take care of it, it's going to be like, yo, nobody's really going to give a fuck that, oh, but I because of me, and I was through this. And it's like, yo, we know, man. That's why we're saying you got to do it now, because if you don't, it doesn't go away. It goes, you hurt somebody else, or what? You pass it on to your next kid or whoever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to let that shit go.
That's why you get in the 2020 election, you still have kids and millennials and younger saying the stupid rhetoric that they're saying about, you know, the masks and the Trump administration and shit like that. Just supporting that shit. You know what I'm saying? In 2020, it's like, if you have sense, you're like, how could they do that? But that's why.
Tradition. Family. You know what I mean? Telling them these things.
It's learned. It's a learned behavior.
Learned.
It's a learned.
That's right. It is.
You know what I'm saying? This is a house of learned racists. You know what I'm saying?
For real. I don't put nothing past nobody. You know what I mean? Like you said, you don't know what people say behind closed doors, man. You don't know what they really feel like. So everybody's suspect until otherwise. You know what I mean? You can't tell.
Listen,
gotta be honest.
I've dealt with, you know, a lot of Caucasian women, you know, in my lifetime.
Oh, you don't say.
In my younger days, you know, there were girls, and it was probably their first time dealing with a black man or black guy, because I was a boy then, a young man.
Right. That's right.
Young king, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And I remember those conversations like, no, you can't come to my house because my dad, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or my dad don't like me talking to black guys. So I've seen that shit, not knowing what it was then, but looking back in hindsight, like, it's a learned behavior. Yeah, that's my point. That's where I'm roundabout. I'm a happily married man now.
Yeah, you got to it though. You made it happen. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's you know what I mean? It's learned.
Yeah. These are things, These things don't, like I said, they pass on forever. You know,
Stop passing that shit.
You know what I mean? That shit is worse than the COVID, man. That shit passing around. Like you said, it don't even make no sense. How you young ass motherfucker? I thought COVID is supposed to miss the young kids.
Come on, man.
But it ain't. Now the Trump got them. They got the Trump.
They caught Trump.
They don't fucking around caught the Trump. Yeah, man. But again, at the same time, I don't want to give this man too much credit. Like, he's like the fucking king of racists.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
he was just the forefront of it. He was the poster child.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
For 2016 through 2020.
Yeah. But also, we did say, you know what I mean? Like, again, it's a hard line for us. You know, we all know the importance to understand what we have to do, but we're also like, we're not hopeless. And also, honestly, we're not like, I don't even like the idea of hope. Like, I like the idea of, like, you know, there's such a hard line that so many of us are now counting on to draw with so many people for so many different reasons. I think that we forget that we have to be for something. You know what I mean? Like, we start to get, like, how we see with politicians and what we're dealing with in the world. It's like, you're either for or you're against. And it's like, so you have the against side and you have the for side. And then you like, the word magic behind that becomes very important, I think. You know, your stance is against, you know what I'm saying? It's not for, you know what I'm saying? And so that idea becomes kind of double negative. You kind of cross yourself out from trying to help out. You start to look forward to the negative side of things, and then your life becomes this thing. You know what I mean? And it's hard to, because we all want to help, and we all want to do our best to, like, and be informed and, like, do our best to, like, get everybody on to doing good things and helping the world and whatnot and being a better human. But it's also like, but humans are really nasty, dirty, foul things, man. Like I think that we want ourselves to be so incredibly intelligent and beautiful and elegant, but that's not quite all the way true. Like
Yeah.
we're still beasts at some level. We're
Mm-hmm.
still creatures of some sort on this weird rock floating through endless nothingness.
Yeah.
So we are kind of a fucking weird ass fucking thing. So we're not really that great,
Yeah.
And so at some level you've got to kind of like I saw a lot of other people. I think we talked about like the great comics are always like kind of rooting for it all to end. You know what I'm saying? In
Yeah.
some ways, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They live in a sort of a nihilistic, existential dread, and in love with it. You know what I'm saying? Like because it's like they're not stupid, they're not naive. They've seen that this life and this world and what humans are very just disgusting creatures, and we're normally just becoming more of a virus every day, and it's as much as we're doing good, there's so much other things that we can't see that it's what I mean. We all live on this planet together, so we kind of just got to be like, yo, you're never gonna solve the world's problems. We're
Right.
gonna make everybody start to realize that they're gonna be held accountable and have to deal more now with the fact that nobody's gonna just let things pass, or not less people are gonna let things pass, but there are always gonna be a whole lot of fucking crazy, weirdo, fucked up ass, dangerous, murderous people on the planet. You know what I mean? And so we're gonna have to deal with getting better at knowing when and how to decide what we're gonna put time and energy into, and how we're gonna develop beyond just being against this thing. Like I'm mad at everything. I don't want to be fuck the government. No. It's like, yeah, okay. So where we going? Well, the thing is fuck them. Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like, but where we going? And who's doing this? And but nothing. It gets rough after that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we got to be like, okay, well, we can do this, and we can develop here, and we can try to build what we can build, and that's all you have. Like, I'm not trying to be Superman, and I think that we aspire to be too great sometimes. Like, it's good to be great, but yo, we're human too, yo. Don't ever fly too high. Yeah, he said, don't get too close to the sun. Remember, I know we've heard of these stories.
Yeah, word up.
Where they flying too close to the sun, or what happens? You blind yourself, or you burn yourself up. You kill yourself for your own glory. Like that's not a good idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did Nas say that line he said about they be falling on their own sword. You know what I'm saying? Like, you willing to risk it all just because, just to be out and be viral or be seen. Like, for what though? That's you lost all integrity after that though. Then what? Without we were talking, what happens after that with no integrity? What's left with that? What do you have left? You know what I mean? There's not much you can do after that. You have to float around aimlessly and try to figure things out. You don't have a place to land now. You have to always float and move, and you know what I mean? That sounds dangerous as fuck. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. But I like we were saying earlier, I like just good music sometimes. Sometimes I don't want to be inundated with all of the news of the harshness, or I feel like as an artist, do you feel like, or have you ever felt like beyond like with this project, I know you were in a place and you wanted to make it that way, but like do you what do you feel like about, as far as I agree with, but also I'm on the fence of music should reflect the times and it should only be about like.
No, I definitely agree, and I think, like I said, the issue I was running into with this project was the titling, because I wanted to reflect that this was a certain point in time, and that's what it is. Like, but don't expect this to be me every time. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
like you didn't want to like brand yourself as the guy who's. This is my content. This is
right.
This is
it. This is my box.
Right.
You know
Right.
what
Right.
I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And this is the only music I'm gonna make. You're not gonna get any fun, happy, you know
right.
what I mean? Or
right.
whatever type of songs. Like, no, because it just reflects the times. That's a certain time I was in. You know what I mean? And that's what it is, and that's what it's gonna be. And yeah, I know. I definitely agree that I think music should reflect. You know what I mean? What's happening in the now. And that good music like that, it grows and it lives. It's timeless. You know what I mean?
That's right.
If it's done correctly, you know what I mean? that shit'll be timeless, man.
Yeah, because you do see people in these times begin to reach. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? An attempt to make music that is geared towards a certain sound
Yeah.
or style or uh, being more socially conscious. And that's not to say people like that's like saying I don't want people to do that. You know,
Right.
like that sounds dumb. But I'm saying like it doesn't seem natural. It seems
Right.
like it's an attempt to do something that sounds like they want to be a part of, but then they go back to doing what they were doing anyways.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that that's why I like artists who don't try that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they're still good people. Like they would still be honest and be like, you know, this is wrong and that they're still socially aware, but they're not like always making their music that way. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So they just make fun music sometimes, good music.
Mm-hmm.
We were saying earlier, I like the dude Don Toliver recently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've been listening to him a lot. Like just his way of approaching music. I feel like he hears something in the music, like I was saying, similar to how Travis Scott does that. It's not even always to me about the words, and I feel like also music is, you know, he's a grown man. You know what I'm saying? He's not
Yeah.
old, but he's grown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's old enough to drink and be out here and be a grown man. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So it's like he makes music that's geared towards the party culture, the
Yeah.
club culture, and all that. And it's like I think that we're always trying to make people feel like they can't make that music, or
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to like,
No, we did that too. I mean,
yeah,
we did that type of music when we
right,
were in that element. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And I think it was more. I think it's more of an age thing. I think once you get a little bit older, you just trying to chill more. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah. I mean, and in some ways, it's just about your preference of what you want to hear at a certain time.
Indeed,
Like,
that too.
because I think that we fault certain music or talk about it, but if we were in a certain environment and it was playing, you would like how it felt and what it was doing to what was
Yeah.
relative to the what was happening. So I'm just like, we got to get out of our way, especially within being a part of this of hip hop culture. It's like it's blending, it's moving, it's forming, it's transforming. It's never one
Yeah.
thing, and the sound of it is not always. But there's so many elements that are still there that whether or not that's what we're missing. We've all said, I think, is like the understanding. I think with some of the newer generation of them not being aware of
Yeah.
what the culture is and how important these elements of the
Mm-hmm.
culture are to keep alive and keep a well in line with everything else.
Yeah.
You know, they're missing that sometimes. But it's like we're trying to be so like, you know what I'm saying? Like we want to own something almost like hip hop, we don't own this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody
Word.
owns hip hop. Nobody like, you know, and even hip hop itself is just somebody who decided to group these certain aesthetics and these certain things together that naturally I feel like humans were doing. Like
Yeah.
not to say that hip hop didn't start where it started at, as it said in New York or you know in the Bronx or wherever. It's just to say that there was a feeling amongst a lot of young people and there was a lot of sounds that were happening around that time all
Yeah.
over the country.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think
Word.
it's hard to really pinpoint, especially because we didn't have the internet or anything. There was no way to
Mm-hmm.
connect these things at the same time and know these things. There's some historians who maybe know these things who have done some of this research, and they'll probably tell you like, yeah, over here at this time this was happening, and this guy was
Yeah.
doing this. It was kind of the same thing as what he was doing,
Right.
but they didn't know each other. They weren't talking to each other. They didn't go to. They're across the country from each other. They
Mm-hmm.
never seen each other before. But it's
It
like,
had to be because that's how.
yeah,
I mean, that's if you listen to the stories, that's how it was just in New York, in the
exactly.
boroughs.
These things were happening naturally. These were people that were in a certain state, and they
Mm-hmm.
did, and that's why I said, yeah, it's important at these times that people reflect what's happening. But also, it's like it may reflect in another way that you didn't see it reflecting in. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like your perspective wasn't seeing it that way. But when it happens, does it not make it real?
Mm-hmm.
Like how are you going to deny that Don Toliver just made an album that came out in March, which is pre, you know, COVID or whatever, but it still deals with this time in some way. Like the energy of it is
Yeah.
still very much ingrained in reality. It's not like he was trying to make music in a certain way. He did what he knew how to do. He
Yeah.
knew what he felt. He knew what he within his life and what he experienced and the music he liked to hear. This is what he had to offer. This is his way of giving people something,
Yeah.
an energy that he feels inside of him, and he hopes people like it too. It's like, who is anybody going to deny that? Why, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
what's the difference, or with any artist, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of artists I don't like, quote unquote, but I don't have negative things to say anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going on any campaign to be like fuck mumble rappers or fuck whoever or these other rappers ain't real rappers and out here they wearing this and they wearing that. Like, I don't, motherfuckers be having a whole lot of time to talk about a whole lot of young ass people who are doing a whole lot of stuff to make a whole lot of money. Like, now if they're doing some fraudulent, like I said, integrity stuff that's wrong, cool, and maybe they do need to have somebody help them understand some things. But in the meantime, unless you know something, let these motherfuckers do what they want, man. Let them do what they want, man. Word. Like, who cares? Why do you care so much? Like,
because we're not getting it. They wish we would have fucking thought of it.
Yeah, something got to be
part of the hate.
Something got to be happening. Yeah, which is like you said, we don't understand it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because we're seeing the real OGs that are like talking. They have no problem. They'll do features with the young artists. They get on the out. They put them out there. They do it because they like, yo, why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
What the hell? What am I gonna lose? You know what I'm saying? By promoting your stuff and telling you to get out there, I'm actually winning now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. The concept is just odd in itself, I guess. But
yeah, man,
it's true though. Did we also say that in the meantime we were talking about Oregon, New Jersey is now recreational? Actually, a couple other states, South Dakota, I think.
Jersey,
South
Dakota.
Yeah, I think, and
You know, I heard it was like 3 or 4 states.
Yeah,
man,
it was
I
like
never
3.
actually heard the states.
Maybe I still have it on my phone. I gotta look real quick. But I think I had it. I think it was like 4, maybe it was 4. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think it was 4.
It was Montana just legalized marijuana. Okay. South Dakota just legalized marijuana. Mississippi legalized medical. South Dakota legalized medical. Oregon, psilocybin is now used could be used for therapy. So that means like mushrooms and stuff. That's dope. Hey. Arizona legalized marijuana. DC decriminalized psychedelics.
Shit.
That's crazy, right? And then Jersey, So, okay.
What's going on, Virginia?
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, what y'all up to, man? You're missing out. You know what I'm saying? It's already out. You know what I mean? That's what we talk about. Like this idea of war on drugs or some shit like that is like, that's so asinine. It never made sense in the beginning, and we all know what it was really for by now. You know what I'm saying? So this is just stupid. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, if marijuana is not nationally legal by the end of the year, somebody's fucking off, man. Like, what are y'all doing?
Sleepy Joe, before you take your last cat nap.
Yeah, word up.
Go ahead and legalize that.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Get that thing done.
You know what I mean? For your ass. You
and
know
that
what I'm saying? Check out. Yeah, man.
I know the stimulus is
drop
on
that
the
money
desk.
and legalize marijuana. And when you leave, you'll go down in history. People gonna love you. I'm telling you. The whole world gonna love you. You're gonna go out like a martyr. Everybody gonna talk about you like Pac and shit. I'm telling you, Biden gonna go out like that.
Go ahead, do that thing nationally, man.
Yeah, drop that thing, man. You know what I'm saying?
So I can get my puff.
You know what I mean? And then let Kamala take over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Pass the sticks,
as
they say.
Yeah, pass the sticks. Hey, yo.
Pass the sticks, Joe.
That's the name of the episode. Pass the sticks, yo. Hey, yo, pass the sticks, bro.
You know what I mean?
We don't even know what the results are still. What is the day? It's like, feels like it's been like forever since the election,
man.
right?
And we still might not know. Today is what, Thursday?
Yeah.
2 days after election day.
I feel like I don't even want to go to work tomorrow, man.
Right?
I didn't want to go to work all week, really. I'll be honest with you. I just did not feel it, man.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. Nothing like I have to worry about it, so to speak, or anything. I just felt like, man, I don't know, man. I don't feel like fucking going to work, man. I don't know. But you know, that's the grind we're in. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talk about why we're doing all these things and why we're spending our minds so much and talking about like, yo, whether it ends one way or the other, I got to start being more direct, and I got to start plotting and really being willing to implement and spend the money and do the things I need, which I've already been doing, not on all levels I need to do it on, but trying to remind myself of that all the time. Like, yo, don't let up. Don't let up.
Word.
Don't take your foot off yet. You can't stop yet. You can't let go. You can't wait. You can't think. You can't you better go.
Just
you know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't matter whether you're going to get it right or not. Like, I saw, who said it? It's better to stumble forward, you know what I'm saying, than to not move at all. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're not doing it right, it's better to be moving.
Word.
Again, action, the nature favors action. You know what I'm saying? If you getting it, you got to get it. Like, watch nature. Like, the dude Danny Harper, man. He's a smart dude, man. I don't know if anybody knows him, but he talk about
Danny
watching
the Uncanny.
Yeah. Watch like nature programs and stuff, man. It tells you more about what nature is. We're too far away from it. Humans have forgotten. Life is not fair. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
You have to make decisions. If you don't, things happen. They compound over
Mm.
time too. It gets a lot worse if you make more decisions that are bad,
Mm.
and then decisions that are bad because of the decision that was bad that you made. You got to keep now.
Mm-hmm.
You got to keep this. It's perpetual. It just keeps happening. You know what I'm saying? And
Word.
you fall into a pattern now. But yeah, the lion, if it gets up, whether it gets up or not, the gazelle is gonna do what it's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So it either gets up and it's ready to go and it hunts and it knows the times and it's on top of its shit and it's doing what it needs to do, or it doesn't eat and it might die.
Mm.
There's no in between. They don't get to choose like when it's gonna be convenient or when it's the best time or when it works. However, no, it's like no, either I get up and I hunt and I eat or I die.
Mm-hmm.
No choice. It's not really choices. It's life is giving you the understanding. It's very immediate. And that's the return rate we all wish we have, in our lives, but it only happens when you're actively seeking it. You know what I'm saying? You can't expect to have this quick turnaround in your life with things if you're not actively seeking it every day. You know what I'm saying? If you're passively trying to think it's going to come to you because you want it so bad, it's going to be going by no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I saw something. Oh, it was a saying. It was in a movie. It was like, what was it? Wish in one hand or want in one hand and piss in the other and see which one fills up faster or some shit.
Oh yeah,
And that's what that just triggered.
Yeah,
talking about
that makes sense though.
Yeah. You know, you can wish all you want, but you're not gonna get shit with no action. Like,
nope.
Nothing from nothing gets nothing.
Yep. These are very simple things, and it's so weird. Like we talk about all the time when you're younger, we hear these things. Parents told it to us, or somebody older than us said it to us, and we were like, it was in ear one out the other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you never sank in, but it was so real because it was like you can't imagine why. Excuse me, but I remember like on that, was it on the Layers album or what Royce album was it where he was talking that song Hard? You know what I'm saying? Was it on the Layers album? Maybe it was.
I don't want to misspeak.
I think it was.
Yeah.
But making it like seem like life is so hard. It's gonna be hard. Everything's hard. You know what I'm saying? And everything's got to be hard. Like that mentality makes you believe that these things are so hard that it couldn't be that simple.
Yeah.
Like no, what? It can't be that nothing from nothing comes nothing, or it can't be that easy that love is everything. It can't be that. What do you mean? That is it. Sound because they're just simple ass words, and it's so direct, and it's so like. And your mind has been told that everything's difficult. Life is hard. That you have to because it takes time. You have to do this, and that's the only way you get that. And you have to be this way, and you have to think that way, and you have to do this thing. And so you never believe that it could just be, oh, I just get up and do this, and then do it again and again and again, and the next thing you know, something good happens. Damn, that's it. That's really all it is. No way. Then you see people doing it, and you're like, oh shit, it is really that easy. Like, but. With conviction, with knowledge of what you're doing, with being very invested in what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm struggling to see how that's not being so much more of an important thing as we move forward. There's so many old people holding on to old ways of doing things that don't know that if you're not in, why would you keep going to a place that you've been at for however long you've been there, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, if you've been somewhere for a period of time, any kind of job or anything that you've been doing, why would you not in your mind be thinking of it as being a career and being there and showing up and being actively interested in doing the job at a high level? Why would that not be your only way of looking at it? Like we remedialize things. Like you take this, it's remedial. That's a low paying job, or it's not a lawyer, or it's not a doctor, or it's not a whatever. So it can't be this thing that you do at some high level that you enjoy and you are great at. Why not? Like again, I saw Royce talking about that too. Like we incentivize this idea of like going out and trying to do the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Or at least he was saying it within the black community, and like it's always like push and be the greatest and go hard and be kings and be queens, and he's like, why can't I just go out and be a great landscaper or be a great whatever? Like why why is that not held to the same standard? Why is that not being looked at? Why are we all so gung-ho to go and be the greatest at everything? Why is there such a need for that? You know what I'm saying? And that need to achieve such a high thing makes you like depressed when you don't achieve it, you know what I'm saying? Or when you don't, because it's not taking, it doesn't happen in the time you want it to happen in, or maybe that's just not your thing. You're trying to push yourself to do this thing that's not really you, and you don't, and it's hard for you to keep doing it. And
I just had the same thought, man. I think a lot of people, me included, have these dreams of grandiose schemes. You know what I'm saying? The get rich quick. Like just I'm gonna start this big ass fucking thing, and it's gonna be this and this and this and this and this. You know, when maybe we should scale it back a little bit and start off small. Start off with something that's gonna be, not a hobby, but a startup. Like I want to get into t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? Just custom tees. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is gonna be, it's something cost effective. I can afford to get into and not break the fucking bank.
Yeah.
And just have fun doing shit I like to do. I like to create shit all the time. So I'm gonna have a million fucking custom things that I might make 6 of. I might make one of these designs that I've created, but that's my niche.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. And when you're in it, you're in it. That's the thing about it. Like it with everything, that's more important than whatever the thing is that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I saw a lot of people say about what Kobe represented was like it was beyond just, or even Kobe said it himself, it was beyond him being a basketball player or somebody else trying to be a basketball player, be a great it's beyond being a great basketball player. It's about showing up and being the last one to leave. It's about being the one that doesn't care about what everybody else is saying is going to be, or trying to dismiss that he can do this or that or whatever, trying to tell you what your limitations are. It's like it's about me knowing that I'm just going to show up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be here. You're not going to not see me. I'm going to do this. Whether you're ignoring it or you're actively invested in it with me, I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
I don't care one way or the other who's with me or who's not with me. That makes little bit of difference to me in any direction of where I'm going.
Yeah.
I don't care about any of those things. That's the thing that we're missing out on is stop listening to so many people. Stop paying attention to so many people's ideas of what you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to become that. Most of them haven't done it. And those who have are just trying to play you because they got played when they were trying to get on and they just doing the shit that was done to them. So it's like, yo, let go of the shit that people are telling you how this shit is supposed to look, how it's supposed to go, how it's supposed to sound. Like, fuck all of that shit.
Yeah.
All that shit is a lie as far as I'm concerned because it's not me. So, yeah, it worked for you, and that's a 100% great, and I applaud that shit, but I'm not you, and you're not me.
Absolutely.
I don't see what you see, and you don't see what I see, and that's great, but you're never going to undermine what I see, and I'm never going to undermine what you see. I'm like, this is equal opportunity for me. I'm good with anybody having an idea and expressing it, but we all need to be aware that you don't get to destroy somebody else, or you don't get to tear down, or you don't get to tell people that it's only this way. This is the only way it's going to work. If you just do this, it's like, that's a brute way. Art is not brute. It's not this forceful thing that you destroy. Like, maybe there could be elements of that, but it's not. Art is about flowing with whatever your thing is, whatever is coming to you, whatever you're drawn to, whatever is coming from wherever that thing is that we all get shit from. I don't know what that thing is. Nobody knows. But whatever that shit is, it's giving everybody a different thing all the time when you tap into it. I would never get what you would get, and you would never get what I would get. That's what it's supposed to be. And that's where, like, it's like we got to get that, like, out of people. Like, yo, your thing is your thing, and you need to find that. And stop trying to be that guy or be like that guy or watch him and just be, I'm just going to, like we were saying, going to the studio and T-Rific talking about people want to sound just like whoever. It's like, why? What for? Yo, I'm telling you, like, how else? I don't know how much clearer we can make it. There's enough people now. I watch a lot that say the same thing that I'm saying. I'm not saying new shit.
Right.
You're gonna find that being you is the way better decision. You will find that out if you do it enough. You'll find out that it's way better to do that. But you don't know that until you start doing this shit. And stop being worried about what everybody's opinions are, or what they're gonna say, or how they're gonna feel. Because guaranteed, they're gonna feel something right now, and then they're gonna be on to something else later on, anyways.
Yep.
So it's not gonna matter.
Yeah, you probably make an ass of yourself trying to do some other shit.
Trying
to defend.
Yeah, it's just not even necessary to do this shit.
Be you.
Yeah.
Be someone that would make you happy or something like that. I want to say that's the Be Divine. Shout out to Be Divine.
Shouts out to Be Divine.
The hoodie that I bought my wife, yo. It's be someone that would make you happy, and be you is in red. You know what I'm saying? So the be you stands out.
Yeah,
the shit's dope, man. Be Divine got some shit, man.
Yeah, man.
Like,
it's words, man. You got to understand how words work, man. When you put them together, there's so many things that we don't even know. You know, I want to get deeper into that at some point. I don't know enough. I just through time, you know, you
Yeah.
recognize how many different words we're using and just how they're all attached to each
Yeah.
other and how many times we're unaware of them, that we've said them and then realize that, but wait, that word means this and it attaches to this word and
Yeah.
that word means this. So what I really could have said was actually this, but if I didn't know that, because we don't know how to, the American language, I mean American language, the English language. That was some racist ass shit. The English language is some fucking fraudulent ass shit,
Yeah.
man. You know what I'm saying? It's filled with so many
Tricky.
bullshit ass things. It's what they call bastardized. It's so many different
Mm.
places it came from, and so many now. And there's also, of course, slang terminology, and so it's like
Yeah.
it's a lot of things that we're trying to fight with and try to learn when we're speaking, but we don't know. You know, that's why it's important to start kind of learning a little bit more about what's the term? I think it's called etymology. That's like
Mm.
the breakdown of
Mhm.
words. That's like the study of what
Yeah.
words
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
how they come to be and why they mean what they mean. And yeah,
Mm.
we got to learn a little bit more about that because, like I said, we be casting spells. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they're good things. And we're not aware of it. And other times,
Yeah.
now I'm not saying these are spells in the sense
Right.
of
Right.
like
Right. Magic
witchcraft,
and
like some kind
yeah.
of crazy, but just about the harmonics of a word and
Yeah.
and the attachment of what those words are, but
Mhm.
also the conflict of the fact of what those words mean when you say them and what they mean subconsciously to
Yeah.
you. You know what I'm saying? And how we don't know sometimes these words can be, again, you could be doing things to yourself you
Right.
don't know because you
Right.
constantly keep saying it to yourself
Mhm.
and you keep reiterating it and you keep putting yourself in this position of being lower and in a servitude and you're not the ruler. You don't get to
Yeah.
decide your life. You're not making the decision. Life is just this and I can't because and all these things.
Yeah.
And it's like you're pulling yourself down further and further, and then the moments of trying to feel up, it doesn't matter because that shit is still anchored in the back of your mind
Yeah.
that you're not enough, that you can't do because of all these things, and now you're fighting that all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Trying to talk yourself out of being, I'm not less than, I'm good, but that fear is so strong from being programmed in you. You know what I'm saying? And you did it to yourself. A lot of us, you know what I'm saying, unknowingly.
Yeah.
Like you said, the joint you got, the reprogram. That's a hard thing to do. To
Yeah.
reprogram,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? We're trying to reform ideas that we never were even aware of.
Mhm.
I didn't even know these things were happening to me when I was a kid. I had
Yeah.
no idea that these feelings and words and things were being used in ways that I didn't know. I didn't know that this is what I was doing to
Right.
myself. You know what I'm saying? But now that I can see
Mhm.
through enough looking back and looking around and seeing other people and being like, yo, that's what happens. We're all just misfortune that we
Yeah.
had to unfortunately gain our knowledge and way of looking at things through people who were fearful because of things that were
Mhm.
told to them and told to them and told to them. And now we just all keep
Mhm.
redoing shit over and over again. And it's like, that's what we're seeing happen. People talk about this generation of people where we're seeing a lot of dead weight being cut off. People are deciding to just like I said, yo, that shit that so and so dealt with in my life, my
Yeah.
uncle or my whoever that was that way, and that their kid did that, and before or their father before them or whoever did that. Like, nah, we done with that
Yep.
altogether. Not even gonna try to figure out why we're done with it. We just done with it. That's
Mhm.
it. It's gone forever. Never gonna think about it. Never gonna worry about it. Never gonna talk about it. Like, and people say that's repression. It's like, no, I've dealt with it. I understand what it is.
Yeah.
Because I lived in it and I've realized what it was. And now I'm
Mhm.
realizing that shit is stupid and I don't want to do that shit no more. I want to do that.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna keep doing that so much that all that shit doesn't even have any way of stopping me anymore.
Mhm.
It has no effect because I'm
Yep.
now so stuck on what I do. All that shit is literally it's gone. It doesn't
Mhm.
because I'm content. I've found the thing that does get me what I need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
shit.
It's a good thing to work towards, man. If you know, if you can.
Yeah.
Some
I
people
think,
are fortunate enough to see that they're fucked up. That's the conversation me and my bro was having not too long ago. Like we've had it numerous times. Like, how do you know when you're, woke or not woke? That random thought, man. Fuck all that. We don't gotta.
yeah, no, I feel you. No, I feel
It's a
you.
random thought, man.
No, I feel you. I
You
feel you.
know?
But shit. What about music, man? I don't think we talked a little bit about music, but I don't know. As far as I mean, we haven't talked about music yet. I'm
Yeah,
saying, but we talked about music last time, and this time, there hasn't been any new music. But
yeah,
um, again, I'll be honest, I still haven't listened to Busta's album, y'all.
yeah. No, it's a good listen, man. It's a good listen. The production is super dope up there. That's one of the standouts for me was the production. And I
Yeah.
still haven't really gone through the credits, so I can't really list a whole lot of names. I know, I think Knots the Ruler was up there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Knots, yeah, yeah. I think, Black Milk did a few up there. I think, I
Oh
believe, I know.
wow.
I think Pete, no, no, not Pete Rock, excuse me, but Premier. I think
Okay.
I'm sure he did one. It's 22 shits, man. I haven't
Yeah.
gone through the shits yet, so I don't really
Right. I
know.
feel you. Like I said,
Uh,
I literally just haven't even pressed play on it.
yeah.
Like I'm kind of like one of those things. One of those. That's an overwhelming thing for me. Like there could be like, and there could be 10 great joints on there.
No,
I,
I think there definitely is 10 great joints
you know what
up
I'm
there.
saying? And I'm sure that there is too. But I won't know right now.
Yeah. Hey man, you
Maybe at
got
some point. I
time.
don't know.
That's the beauty of this thing.
Yeah, maybe at some point. I'm sure I will.
God willing.
Um, I don't know. Like I said, recent albums. Like I said, I don't know.
Benny.
Yeah, that's really been all. Yo, you saw me.
Butcher coming.
You saw me. I posted that shit on Pete Rock shit. It wasn't
Yeah.
trying to be like to down
Yeah.
him for
I
saying
did see
that
that.
Busta's album was dope. I was just like, but Benny's album is better. Like that.
Yeah.
My opinion doesn't mean any difference to anybody. That's just my opinion. My
Yeah.
opinion. I haven't even heard. And again, I'm gonna hear Busta's album. It's gonna be some incredible records that
Yeah.
and I heard the joint with Kendrick, and I think that's really a dope ass record.
Yeah.
But overall, to me, like I said, looking at this landscape and looking at just having the understanding that in a lot of ways, hip hop has this sort of energy that is reemerging in a different way now, where Benny is relatively young,
Yeah.
but he's not
Yeah,
young.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's mid 30s, and I think that's like kind of helping to start reframing some of how hip hop should be looking in terms of we can have greatness at all these different age brackets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And all of them can exist at the exact same
Yep.
time. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to start choosing or deciding that only hip hop is at this range and this time.
Right.
There was, again, it's evolving. It's forming a new thing in terms of like, we can appreciate the incredibleness, and those greats can still even be around today making music that's still relevant, as well as these young artists being held to the same regard. We don't have to start separating generations and start saying that,
Right.
because this is where I think people said something happened where it didn't happen with rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? Where rock and roll was like they were choosing, a younger band or an older band. It was like, no, older bands just kept going. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And the younger bands came along and they joined along the team of rock and roll greats and all.
Yep.
It just like everybody was just
Ended up on tours together,
Yeah.
all that shit.
hip hop is doing that now. We need that. That's what's supposed to happen. It's at that
Absolutely.
point now. It's been around long enough. Like, okay, everybody's here together, guys. Okay, cool. So you guys are gonna be with those guys, and we're all gonna go out and we're all gonna make this incredible full show where we can do arenas
Yeah.
of 20,000 people,
Yeah.
and it's all different age brackets coming together to enjoy hip hop in all these different forms.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's when you know the shit is like full on, yo. When you got the fucking elites, the what do you call it? Damn, I can't. I
Yeah.
had the word on the tip of my tongue, yo.
The legends.
Yeah, like not legends though, but what's the word that they use in like college? You know what I'm saying? I can't think, like alums. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
You got the alums on stage with the newcomers, and they all fucking on a tour, like
Yep.
and everything in between, yo. Like
Mhm.
an all hip hop fucking
Exactly.
grand tour. You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying? They
And I mean, those are happening, but not in a way where it's so consistent that we can say like,
Yeah.
we've seen it though. I mean, we got the Roots who do their picnic.
Yeah.
We've got Made in America has different bands in some ways, but it's mainly hip hop because hip hop is the biggest culture. I mean, so
word. Yeah, man. No, shit is. I love this shit, man. I love
Yeah.
this shit.
That's it, man. And everything from when we grew up, you know what I'm saying? Like our
Yeah.
favorite albums, the things that we would listen to, like you were just saying, what was it?
Cause I was riding
that crucial
just over
conflict.
here today on fucking hay in the middle of the barn. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
man.
saying?
That's classic. And we have a connection
Ooh.
to that joint. Cause that was on a CD that we had at a time when we used to be,
Yeah, this was before playlist was playlist. I used to make
yeah.
smoking playlists,
Yeah, that's
and
what
that
we
was one of my
did.
smoking songs.
That's what we used to do, man. Early
Smoking on
on.
hay.
Just fresh out of high school, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we would just get up, everybody go ride around, make these CDs and just be blown away by this music we would be
Yeah.
hearing. Like,
It
yo,
wasn't bad music
not at
at the
all.
time.
Not by no. That we would listen to the Crucial Conflict a lot,
Bone
Bone
Thugs,
Thugs.
fucking. I had a bunch of shit. It was a medley.
Yeah.
I
A
had
lot
some
of stuff.
Bootsy Collins on there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, man, that was a time, man, just growing up and even before that, like I was saying, I mean, early on, the first albums I can remember that
Yeah.
like I really like I purposely was like I like this
What's one of
album.
the first songs that you gravitated to?
Oh
Like,
God,
not
that's
necessarily
harder
an
to
album,
say.
but like a
That's harder to say.
song that just
I
like
don't know.
you don't even know why it hit you or resonated, but you just fucked with that song.
I don't really know, man. I don't. Because that's tough, man. It probably was incidentally probably early on something that somebody put on to me that was probably like a Tupac song or something
Yeah.
that I probably like changes or some shit that I
Yeah.
heard that I was just like off top like what is this?
Yeah.
Like hold on, this shit sounds different.
Mhm.
Like you know what I'm saying? This is different. Like I mean, I don't know. I can't say for sure. It's hard to
Yeah.
say because I don't know when I specifically was like, yeah, hip hop. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna listen to hip hop
No,
all the
I
time.
mean, like, okay, for me, again, with the hay in the middle of the barn shit, I remember vividly because I was in like the fourth grade. You know what
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
right.
That make them say, that was another one that I remember. But
Okay, I see it. Okay,
yeah,
well,
you know what I'm saying?
well, for me it was early on. Which again, I said this, and at some point I'm gonna probably have to go into some kind of expose or some shit and talk about this in depth. But Mace was like my favorite rapper. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And like, I
Mace
remember
is that
early
though.
on, I told my mom I wanted that Harlem World album.
Yeah.
She got me the edited version, you know what I'm saying?
Word.
But I knew what the songs were, so I'd already heard most of them in some way. I think
Yeah.
probably at that time it was like Kazaa or some shit I was using to like download
Mhm.
music, so I was hearing the songs anyways. But yeah, I wanted that album. Like I
Yeah.
told her, like I wanted it because I don't remember what song it was that was on that album. It was probably I don't know. What was it that joint that he had? Why you over there looking at me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like somewhere probably around that time was when I was like, yo, I don't know what it was, but Mace was like my favorite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was laid back. He was, you know what I'm saying,
You know,
chill.
I
But
just said
but he
that
was
because
rapping his
you
ass
know.
off.
Yeah.
Like his wordplay was fucking phenomenal, and his flips and I think the debate I saw somebody else trying to say about between him and Cameron, if you would have asked me then, I didn't really know much about Cameron.
Right.
I knew who he was and I'd heard some things, but I didn't know him like that. But Mace, I would have been like, no, Mace, kidding me? Mace is fucking
Yeah.
way better. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Mace was like one of my first that album, and then that 24 Hours to Live was like one of my joints, yo. That
Yeah,
shit
that
was
was my joint,
amazing.
too.
That was like one of my favorite joints.
Do.
But yeah, around that time it was that. Then one year I remember getting Fabulous, his first album, the Ghetto Fabulous album, and Ludacris, Word of Mouth.
Okay.
But even way before that, like early on, like when I was hanging around Steve B, his younger brother Ray, I mean they listened to more not the quote unquote rapidy rap shit. You know what I'm saying? They want to listen to like Wu Tang and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot of more upbeat, like Ludacris's first album. You know what I'm saying? Like listen to that, but that's rap shit. But like that, and even like, but a lot. I remember like a lot of like listening to like Jagged Edge and even Ja Rule and shit like that at that time. Like, but this is because this is like MTV. This is popular stuff that was like whatever was the popular shit. You know what I'm saying? I never really was like,
106 Parks and shit.
early on I was passively I just heard music and liked certain things, but I didn't dig. I didn't search for myself. I didn't choose music. I just was whatever else was out there. I was spoon fed like everybody else pretty much. But then like
I
I
was
said,
fortunate to have brothers, you know what I'm saying, that had music. So whatever they had, I kind of like filtered
And
and
they grew up. They were old enough to be around at the times when
yeah,
the great stuff was coming out. So they were older than you. So
yeah.
yeah, you were there right
I
when they
just
were.
got to absorb shit, man. You know what I mean? And I became this.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely once I got into it, it was like I couldn't stop. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It was
word.
like yeah, again that time was like you know what I'm saying. I don't know how old I was. I don't really know. Maybe I was like early age when I got the Ludacris album. I probably had first started rapping somewhere around that time. Like, well,
Yeah,
not really telling people, but like I liked to write. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? I don't know if I was really saying I was like trying to rap, but I knew I liked to write stuff. And then
Right on.
it wasn't until I started hanging out with like Diz and Steve every once in a while early on when I started hanging out with Steve and he started hanging out with Mike and then Mike knew y'all and so that was when
Yeah,
everybody else like we all started connecting. I was like, yeah, I was 16.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's when I knew, okay, I want to rap. You know what I'm saying? And I knew all the rappers now that I was like, I really like Nas and I really like but this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
now because Steve was telling me so much. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And whatever you guys would listen to or whoever else I knew or what, then I started searching myself. Oh, I like this guy
Yeah.
now. Well, who's that guy? Oh, I want to hear that now. I want to hear some of this. Like, yeah, that was the good
The
times,
birth
man.
of
That was the good times.
word, man.
But
Wax nostalgia,
just a little bit. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. We done wrapped up here, I think,
Yeah,
man. I
yeah,
think,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
No, yeah.
I think we done
I
tackled some
turned the
things.
timer off. We was at
Yeah.
like 3 minutes when I did that, so
Cool. Yeah, I
you
think
know.
we tackled a bunch of stuff and we'll see what happens with this you know what I'm saying, 2020 election, guys. You know what I'm
Yeah, man.
saying? We'll see what transpires one way or the other like we said, you know.
Life goes on.
We hope people are out here standing tall still, smile, you know what I mean? Get out here and do yourself proud, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Get up and
Mend things with your family members if you had beefs over votes and things like that. Yo, this presidential shit and this politician shit is temporary. Your family, that's your family. You know what I mean? Do the right thing.
yeah,
Like,
man. But
you know what I
those
mean?
who you have seen their true colors,
But yeah,
make sure they know
yeah.
moving
Either
forward that
check
they
them
don't
or
get to change sides now.
yeah,
You know what
word
I'm
up.
saying? If they done made their decision, they done made their decision, and let them live on their decision. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
nah, that's a
saying?
fact.
But
Move accordingly.
yeah, absolutely, yeah, for sure.
Move
You know what I'm saying?
accordingly.
Cause yeah, that's the only way we're gonna get better here, man. Is just take control of yourself if you can, and just again, like I said, think positively, guys.
Yeah, word,
Let's move forward and let's be strong. You know what I mean?
word.
But yeah, I don't want to talk no more, man. I'm out of here, man.
Yeah, peace.
Words Illah Podcast.